Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. If you're new here on the channel, then you should know that my name is Lukas and I spend most videos either traveling around, discovering new places here in Taiwan, or talking about recent Taiwanese news in international and local media. And one thing I've noticed after living here in Taiwan for 9 years, actually one of the very first things you will notice if you do come here and visit Taiwan yourself, is that the Taiwanese people are no stranger to talk to strangers. Quite opposite, they will not hesitate at all to walk up to you, especially if you look like a lost foreigner, and try to start a conversation with you, even if they do not speak one single word of English themselves. This is something that I, as a Swede, definitely is not used to, since in Sweden, the closest we come to social interaction with strangers is pretty much just laughing at them if they're walking in the wrong direction. But here in Taiwan, there's no coincidence that pretty much every single foreigner will only have nice things to say about the Taiwanese people, with Taiwanese people being friendly as the most common comment about the Taiwanese. So when you do come across something new, even after living here for 9 years, which is something that the Taiwanese people have not told you about at all, you can only assume that this information is simply too good to be shared with foreigners. And although Taiwanese people are among the most giving people on the planet, maybe this actually is something that they want to keep to themselves. But in this video, on behalf of all the world's foreigners, I am willing to sacrifice my friendly relationship with the Taiwanese people, since I here have my top 10 secrets about living here in Taiwan, which are things that I have found out all by myself or with the help of my fellow foreign friends, which I can only assume is something that the Taiwanese people have tried to keep a secret from me for the past 9 years. Okay, actually, the box is completely empty. I just added it here for dramatic effect. But regardless, I think it's time to get this video started. First up, which I think might have been the most well-kept secret here in Taiwan, is of course Teapot Mountain. And I hope that you're not tired of hearing me talking about Teapot Mountain. The spring is almost here and it's time to once again start to head out and re-explore the beautiful country of Taiwan. And I cannot wait until I get the opportunity to once again head out to the beautiful Teapot Mountain in Reifang area. I'm sure that every single one who is already subscribing to my channel are very much aware on how much I love Teapot Mountain, but it would not be a top 10 list by Lukas Engström here in Taiwan without including this beautiful, beautiful mountain, and what is not only mine, but also Wes Davies' absolute favorite place in Taiwan. Next up on the list, which has nothing to do with either Teapot Mountain or Wes Davies, is PC Home. This is not a sponsored video by PC Home or any of the other services or companies I'm gonna be talking about later in this video. I just want to make sure that every single foreigner here in Taiwan know that they can get 24-hour delivery, and if you live in the middle of Taipei, it's actually same-day delivery sometimes if you order early enough. And I think this is one of the biggest surprises I've ever had here living in Taiwan, actually, because the first time I encountered PC Home was when my ex-girlfriend decided to order us breakfast 10 p.m. on a Saturday night. We ordered some milk and cereal, which was delivered to us 9 a.m. the next Sunday morning. First of all, having weekend deliveries as a Swede where you have to pay extra for 2 or 3 business days deliveries simply blew my mind. But here it's completely free, 24-hour delivery as long as you reach a very, very low minimum order quantity. Next thing on the list, which also is something that happens within 24 hours, is my absolute best one-day scooter trip from Taipei City. If you do own a scooter and live up here in Taipei and simply just want to take a leisure day and head out on another scooter adventure, I highly recommend this route. I will try to leave a Google Map direction link in the description as well, but basically it goes through Bitan, Xindian, all the way to Thousand Island Lake, and then you make a little northern Taiwan tour, end up in Shiding, and then back home to Taipei again. Google Maps will say it takes around 2 hours. I highly recommend to spend at least 3 or 4 hours on the road, simply because you want to see all the beautiful sceneries up close, stop and take a lot of photos, and once you get to Shiding, after hopefully a very hot day out on a scooter here, you definitely want to stop and get one of the best mango smoothies I've ever had, and check out Shiding Old Street and the secret water canals that goes down below. And in addition to mangoes and fruit smoothies, if you're subscribing to my channel already, then you should already know that the drink of my choice is coffee. So the next thing on my list is probably the one that hurts the most, that no single Taiwanese person have ever told me about, simply because I have lost so much money not knowing this and spending years here in Taiwan paying full price for my coffee. In a previous video, I already talked about the phenomenon TAIPEI, which I'm not entirely sure if this is only a 7-Eleven thing or if there are other places that do have this as well. For example, if they have some promotions or discounts, such as buy 2 coffees and get the second one 50% off, which is a very confusing but very common way of calculating discounts here in Taiwan, then you could actually pay everything at once, but then you could use this magic term TAIPEI, which means that the second one that you got 50% off, you can actually save that and collect that another day. So far, so good. But this also means that you can only take advantage of this the few times they actually have these promotions at 7-Eleven. Until now, or I should say until last year, which is when I first learned about Openpoint, which I'm not really entirely sure what it is. It's an app full with discounts and promotions for a lot of different companies. They have everything from credit card promotions to an icon with a printer. I think it's connected to iCash 2.0, which is I guess competitor to EasyCard. I don't know, we don't have to go down that rabbit hole. For the purpose of this video, we're only going to focus on the most important function of this app, and that is that you can buy coffees in batches, which means that if you know that every single day you're going to go to 7-Eleven and order that you can actually buy, for example, 100 cups at once, and they will actually give you 40 cups for free, which means that you will actually save that much after you finished all those 140 cups of coffee. Okay, I think we spent a little bit too much time talking about coffee there, but as you know, it is very important to me, and it's also very, very important to a lot of other foreigners here as well. And if you are a foreigner watching this video, then you are very much aware on how much money I've just saved for you. So please do me a favor, pay me back by liking this video and subscribing to my channel as well. Next up is also another app, and this one I do understand that Taiwanese people have not shared with me, simply because I don't think they've ever used it. I'm talking about an app for learning Chinese. Maybe there is a new standard app nowadays, but when I went to school back in the old days, then Pleco was the most common one for all our students at Sida, and it's a very great dictionary and flashcard system in general. But one of the functions that I sadly discovered a little bit too late is that they have another add-on, which means that you can actually scan and get all the characters translated in your phone for 330 Taiwanese dollars. If you don't want to pay, they actually have a demo version, so you can still scan and see the pinyin of the characters if it's a newspaper or on a sign or anywhere out in real life, and then you get the pinyin, you can type it out yourself and get the translation that way, which is actually a very, very nice workaround if you're an exchange student on a budget. For the next secret on my list, we're actually gonna head back out on the road again, and we're gonna head up to Yangminshan, which after the first tour I took up there wasn't really too impressive. We checked out some flowers and some nice parks in general, which wasn't really my cup of tea. But the second time I head up there, I discovered that they actually have a very much active volcano in the middle of Yangminshan, just a couple of kilometers away from downtown Taipei, which is 100% accessible with a scooter, which makes this my second absolute favorite one-day scooter trip from downtown Taipei. We also have to talk about Qianshui One, which is one of the closest beaches to Taipei City, and it's only 1 hour away from downtown Taipei. And what is even better is that you can actually go there the same day you check out Yangminshan and the volcano, which means that you can get the downtown Taipei, high mountain, a volcano, and the beach all in one single day, which is just a great summary of the entire life here in Taiwan in general. And another one of the many secrets that the Taiwanese people are hiding from us foreigners, or at least something that I had to figure out all by myself, is that we all know that you can actually add money to your Easy Card to ride the public transportation such as MRT and bus. But you can actually use this card as a payment debit card pretty much anywhere here in Taiwan. And when I say anywhere, I mean 7-Eleven and welcome. But then again, what other places do you actually need living here in Taiwan? Something I do hope everyone know by now is that they do have this receipt lottery once every 2 months where the first prize is $10 million, and I don't even want to know how many million Taiwanese dollars I might have lost just simply by not knowing this my first couple of months here in Taiwan. But then again, this is something I don't have to worry about anymore, because the other thing I wanted to talk about is they actually have this app, which I very recently discovered actually, which again will save me a lot of time. So you can actually scan at least some of these receipts to actually find out if you won, or most likely if you're lost, so you don't have to compare these numbers once every other month. And to finish off this list, we're once again gonna head out trying to explore Taiwan. And if you try to do that living up here in Taipei and you want to go down south, then most likely at least part of your trip will be on the HSR. And again, this is just something that I wish that I have known so much sooner, because this has at least costed me 3 amazing weekends down in Kenting, and that is that you can actually buy non-reserved HSR tickets, which is the high-speed train, even if the information online says that the train is fully booked, because every single train they will at least have 3 wagons which are only for these non-reserved seats, with some very few exceptions, for example Chinese New Year and some other very specific holidays. But in general, you can always just go to Taipei main station or any other HSR station and simply buy a non-reserved ticket at the kiosk, and then you just have to wait in line, and first comes first served. Probably you will end up standing for the entire trip if you're not fast enough, but regardless, you can still get a seat pretty much every single day for more or less every single train. Okay, there you have it. That was my own personal secrets, or at least things that I had to figure out all by myself here in Taiwan. If you did learn something new, please do leave a comment down below. I honestly want to know if this was useful or not, especially if you're Taiwanese and also still learned something new. That will be very interesting to know as well. And if you enjoyed watching this top 10-ish list of secrets or tips and tricks from me living here in Taiwan, then you might also like my previous top 10 list for first time and long-term visitors here in Taiwan, which you can check out via the links in description as well. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lukas. Starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.